Welcome to the second session of this year's Building a Culture of Life conference series, sponsored by the Catholic Diocese of Columbus Family Life and Social Concerns Offices and the Greater Columbus Right to Life. I'm Erin Cordell, the Associate Director of the Office for Social Concerns, and I am publicly launching a new initiative from the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops called Walking with Moms in Need, a Year of Service. Before I do that, though, I think we should start with prayer, as we should start all things. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Blessed Mother, you receive the good news of the incarnation of Christ, your Son, with faith and trust. Grant your protection to all pregnant mothers facing difficulties. Guide us as we strive to make our parish communities welcome places that assist mothers in need. Help us become instruments of God's love and compassion. Mary, Mother of the Church, graciously help us build a culture of life and a civilization of love, together with all people of goodwill, to praise and glory of God, the Creator and Lover of life. Amen. Walking with Moms in Need is a year of service where Catholic parishes and communities walk in the shoes of local pregnant and parenting women and their families who may be in need of emotional, spiritual, financial, and/or material supports. While this initiative was created by the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops for Catholic Parishes, the materials are easily adaptable to any ecumenical or interfaith communities. Our bishops stress that everyone should know how to help moms, whatever the circumstances, from the woman facing a challenging pregnancy to carry her child or not, to the mom experiencing postpartum issues or feeling overwhelmed with other small children and a new baby. There may be very unique circumstances that are causing stress and trauma. What if her spouse is deployed overseas? While not trying to turn Catholic parishes into pregnancy help centers or social service agencies, we can support those agencies where they exist, and we can also find and share other resources with pregnant and parenting women and their families. And where there are few local resources, we can create our own based on the time, talent, and treasures of our parish communities. Pregnant and parenting moms in need are in our parishes and our neighborhoods. As Pope Francis reminds us, our parishes need to be islands of mercy in the midst of a sea of indifference. Everyone in the parish community should know where to refer moms to access the resources they may need. The 25th anniversary of the papal encyclical, The Gospel of Life, provides us with a wonderful opportunity to assess and expand and communicate the resources to pregnant moms and their families. The Gospel of Life is at the very heart of Jesus' saving message to the world. Through the incarnation and birth of Christ, God reveals to us the dignity of all human life. Each of us is made in the image and likeness of God, reflecting His glory and His imprint. Human life, as a gift of God, is sacred. The Gospel of Life highlights the special and particular role of women in bearing the gift of life. Pope John Paul II outlines many of the challenges that expectant mothers may face, including the lack of support from the father, financial strains, concerns about her own health and that of her child, and the pressures from family and friends. The Holy Father recognizes that an unborn child is totally entrusted to the protection and care of the woman carrying him or her in the womb. For this reason, it is particularly important that the Church come alongside these moms, offering them encouragement, assistance, and support. With great openness and courage, we need to question how widespread is the culture of life today among individual Christians, families, groups, and communities in our diocese. With equal clarity and determination, we need to identify the steps we are called to take in order to serve life at all its stages and circumstances. Each of us is made in the image and likeness of God, and God made us with the capacity to love and reason and share. The true meaning of our lives is found in giving and receiving love. Although the roots of violence against life is not new, going back to the book of Genesis when Cain took the life of his brother Abel, our modern world is now suffering from under a culture of death and indifference. Society as a whole must respect, defend, and promote the dignity of every human person at every moment, in every condition that appears in one's life. And it is our responsibility to care for and protect human life, especially the lives of the most vulnerable among us. Having received the gift of the gospel of life, we are called to be people of life and people for life. It's our duty to proclaim the gospel of life to the world. In every child who is born, in every person who lives or dies, we see the image of God's glory, and we celebrate this glory in every human being as a sign of the living God. The Gospel of Life was written by Pope John Paul II to reaffirm the value of every human life and to appeal to all people to respect, protect, love, and serve that human life. We know the needs and challenges may be immense for women in difficult pregnancies, especially women in poverty, and the resources for help may not be apparent to those most in need. Women facing challenging pregnancies should see the church as a place where they can find help, especially with the social services we have that are dedicated to meeting the needs of people in crisis. For this year of service, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops Committee for Pro-Life Activities has developed educational, pastoral, and action-oriented resources for parishes to use. They include tools for documenting an inventory of local resources for pregnant and parenting mothers in need, ideas for improving parish responses, prayers for building a culture of life and a civilization of love, and reflections on the teaching of the gospel of life, the joy of the gospel, and praise be to you on the care of our common home. I'll review these resources later. I've had the opportunity to interview several people who have boots on the ground and are out there supporting expecting and parenting moms and their families almost every day. They all have insight on what moms and their families may be seeking from the moment they know they're pregnant through the birth and even early childhood. I'm going to share some of those interviews now. At the end of this session, I will also be listing websites for these agencies and organizations, so you won't need to take frantic notes. First is Jessica Miller from the Elizabeth Ministry at St. Paul Catholic Church in Westerville. Elizabeth Ministry is an international, parish-based ministry that supports moms in various ways. I'll have additional information about this ministry later.
I'm Jessica Miller, and I joined Elizabeth Ministry back in 2012 when we started it at St. Paul's Parish. If you're not familiar, the Elizabeth Ministry is named so because of Mary's visit to Elizabeth when John the Baptist was in the womb and leapt for the first time at Jesus' presence. So that is how the Elizabeth Ministry was named. Therefore, our mission is to also go out and support pregnant mothers, mothers who maybe have already had a child, and we want to just continue that ministry throughout our church and throughout our communities. Some of the ways that we accompany parents in this way is we do prenatal blessings once a quarter at our church. We have a priest or a deacon call up any pregnant moms and just say a blessing over their unborn child. It is a wonderful, beautiful thing to experience. We give them prayer cards for a safe delivery, for a happy motherhood, and we also extend that to fathers, maybe through a St. Joseph prayer or another prayer card, just to show that we also support fathers and the parenting roles from both parents. When we have families that are suffering with infertility or maybe seeking adoption because they've had infertility, we like to bring experts together. We've had panels where we have experts come in, doctors or lawyers, just to help those families navigate around ways to work out how they can be parents one day. And we really, more than anything, we continue to pray for them, as we are such a prayerful group and we want to support each other and the other people in our churches in that way. It's just been such a blessing to work with such a close group of women and know that we can count on their prayers. So we hope you can count on our prayers too. Contact us anytime. Oftentimes we are contacted with someone who suffered a loss. And just like Mary visited Elizabeth when she was pregnant, we can also visit and talk to someone as they're going through a loss. I know I've personally gone to someone's house with a meal, or I've been talking to them on the phone just to get them through the tough times, as well as the joys of experiencing that pregnancy. On Mother's Day and Father's Day, we try to just show our support for a good, faithful parent community by handing out tea or bookmarks or candy, just to say, we love you, we appreciate you, and we support you as parents. Finally, I think one of the biggest things we do is share resources, whether it is a friend that's been through the same situation or a book that we can recommend. When people contact us, we can then direct them in another way to just best suit their needs. So that is what we do in our Elizabeth ministry.
The next interview is with the head nurse at one of the pregnancy decision health centers in Columbus, Brenda Bixler. It should be noted that Brenda is standing in front of an ultrasound machine. The Knights of Columbus work together with agencies and organizations to purchase ultrasound machines for qualifying pregnancy centers like PDHC. Our diocesan Knights already have provided 7 machines and are looking to provide even more.
The first part is just simply bringing them in, coming alongside, accompanying them through this process, helping them to gather information, slow down, and just see what do they have really going on. The truth of seeing life in a heartbeat is amazing, and most of the time, that's all it takes. A woman sees that baby's heartbeat for the first time, and they realize there really is a life in there. It's not just a blob of tissue, and they do start that bonding process. We see it over and over again. One of the other things that we are partnering with is for women who have made that decision, perhaps in a panic, and they have gone forward with taking the abortion pill. We have now partnered with the Abortion Pill Reversal Project, and we have women come in to find out if they have a viable pregnancy after they've taken that first pill. And then we do ultrasounds each week, and just to make sure that they're doing okay, and after they have started that protocol with receiving the progesterone and then getting plugged into their own care, we follow them through that first trimester. And we are excited to say we just had our first abortion pill reversal baby born, and that has been a tremendous thing to celebrate. So we, through this tool, have many things that we can offer through our ultrasound, and just educating our women, the women that come through our door, on what all is available to them. So we're there to meet them in their need, educate them, and then we also turn around and walk with them through the pregnancy and don't just leave it at that.
The mission of the Women's Care Center in Columbus is to provide professional, compassionate, state-of-the-art care for their patients. Madeline Presavento, and I'm sorry to massacre her name, provides some insight on walking with expecting and parenting moms.
The overwhelming majority of women, they're finding themselves in different types of challenging situations. It might be a relationship that's challenging, it might be financial situations that's challenging, and it might just be an emotional challenging situation. So when a woman comes to Women's Care Center, our first mission is to treat her like the woman that she is, with value and with dignity. So she sits down across from us, and our job is to reflect her strengths back to her, understand what's going on in her life, and help her understand that it's not just the baby who God created, but God created her. God created her for a reason and for a purpose. And so that's number one, just kind of giving her a safe space and a space that she can feel comfortable talking about what's going on in her life. From there, just sometimes it can be even just a good space to talk about her challenges, to validate her challenges and to empathize with her challenges, and really help her feel like she's in a space that she can talk about her challenges, because that's the only way that we can then support her through those challenges. So relationship, emotional, financial, talking about financial a little bit. Women need support through pregnancy. They need diapers, they need wipes, they need furniture. And furniture, what's that mean? Cribs, car seats, they need baby monitors, they need strollers, high seats. Those are big ticket items. And so when a woman's here, she might not be thinking down that road, but if we can help alleviate financial burden for her, we're gonna do that. When a woman finds herself in an unplanned pregnancy, the choice is not made immediately. It's over a course of time. And so in your life, if you find yourself speaking with a woman who's facing an unplanned pregnancy, or when you think about unplanned pregnancies, she has choices in front of her, and they're her choices to make. Women's Care Center recognizes that a woman is the leader in her own life. And so what can we do to offer encouragement, to validate the concerns that she has, to slow her down in that decision making and help her understand that she's a child of God and her baby is a child of God, and to really just support her and help her make small goals that she can meet over a period of time to ultimately make that choice for life.
The next interview is with Monica Flynn of Mommies Matter, another organization that accompanies expecting and parenting moms and their family. The bonus in this interview is that Monica is living a unique life situation with her daughter that is not uncommon, but I believe very few of us may even be aware that it exists.
Most important thing that we can give a mother, a single mother, is community. We were not meant to raise children alone, and through community, that encouragement, that support, that she can do it, that she's doing a great job, that community that when she is struggling, she has somebody to turn to say, how do I deal with this issue, whether it's a baby that's not sleeping through the night, or she's not able to breastfeed, or the toddler that needs discipline. We have to learn from each other. We were made for relationship, and the most important job is child rearing, and she cannot do it alone. So it's really engaging in relationship. It's giving her a loving community that loves her unconditionally, meets her where she is, and then helps her raise those children, encouraging all the way. I didn't expect it, but our son-in-law has been deployed to Afghanistan. So our daughter that was she's 38 weeks pregnant, moved in with us with her 3-year-old and 1.5-year-old, and boy oh boy, as a single mother without her support system, It's very difficult. Just being a mother again of 3 under 3. She doesn't have to worry about finances. She doesn't have to worry about a healthy relationship. She has the support of my husband and myself and the rest of her siblings and friends. And it's still very, very difficult. So it just only highlights to me once again that we really have to, especially if we expect women to choose life for these children, to be there with her after the baby is born, as just life gets more and more stressful with those mouths to feed.
Our next contributor is Barbara McKenzie, the Director of Catholic Social Services Portsmouth Branch Office in Scioto County. Scioto is the southernmost county of the diocese and is in the more rural area of the state. It is primarily devoid of large industrial employment opportunities with limited state and local government resources to meet the growing needs of the community.
Needing parenting support is a large obstacle, especially when they're in the area and they may be alone. They may not have family here, or the family is unable to give them support. That is where they need to be able to turn to, and we use our parishes to help with that type of support. Providing education about parenting, helping them to understand the different stages that a child is going to go through and what the expectations can be, and becoming a nurturing parent, understanding that they themselves need to have someone to nurture them, to teach them that they also have to take care of themselves so they can provide better care for their child. And directing them to the resources that are available in our area, such as where the different food banks are located, the baby pantries, and churches can learn to partner with other agencies to provide some of these needs for the people who come looking for resources to help them.
I also spoke with Barb McMullen of Birthright. For over 50 years, Birthright has been helping women with unplanned pregnancies. At Birthright, the mom is never alone because they know how important it is to simply be with her, to be a compassionate listener, and respect that it is her life and her plan. Birthright is available to support her as long as she needs help. Along with providing love and support, they help with essentials such as pregnancy testing, medical needs, housing, counseling referrals, as well as maternity and baby items. Through Birthright's strong support system, they help women realize hope for their futures.
Because we work with moms through their pregnancies and the birth, we're also there through a miscarriage or a stillbirth. We work closely with Back in His Arms Again. That is a ministry that supplies a large range of support under these circumstances. I would like to share one really heartbreaking experience I had with a homeless woman. She was pregnant and her baby did die in utero. She asked me to come to the hospital during delivery, which I did. I did think I saw an angel born that day. But I was able, through Back in His Arms, we were able to find a funeral home that would do a cremation free of charge. But the lady wanted an urn to put the baby's ashes in. I tried to talk her out of that because, as I said, she was homeless and I was trying to find a plot. I needed somebody to be in between and say this is what we needed to do. Unfortunately, I did lose contact with her. I don't know how that ended up. And with COVID-19, so many moms and fathers have lost their jobs. This is additionally challenging for people who are finding out they're pregnant. And yes, this started in March. I have got a lot of ladies that are due the end of December. And a lot of them are going to deliver boys. I'm not sure what the virus had to do with why there's so many boys coming. But I'm busy. I need help. And these people need help. Local pantries maybe aren't enough for their food. Maybe churches could do something to help with what the pantries give out that, they just don't have. Again, handling interviewing skills, like gotta find her a job hunting, and anything else unique to maybe somebody in that church has got a special talent or a special job that they can help with. Even giving somebody driver's license or helping them get a job. Birthright is my passion. I do see so many problems, and it can be so frustrating that I don't know the answers. I need everybody's help. Faith communities can help a mom. They do need prayers. Certainly we can pray, and we can let them know that we're here while being a friend and praying. Pregnant women and their families are a blessing. We need to look more deeply into the needs of our moms to see the gaps and work to close them. What that especially means to your faith community, let's all work together and let's figure it out.
Unfortunately, not all pregnancies end in a live birth, or an infant may be lost after birth. Barb just mentioned one ministry that reaches across our diocese, our state, and even beyond, Back in His Arms Again. Believing that every life is precious and deserving respect, Back in His Arms Again honors life from conception until death. They are a charitable organization of collaborative resources, providing education, care, guidance, and financial services for families in need who are experiencing losses. Their Garden of Holy Innocents is located on land donated by Resurrection Cemetery in Lewis Center. Many Columbus area hospitals offer the option of using the garden for families who have experienced a miscarriage or delivered a child who dies during pregnancy. Bethesda Healing Ministry is a Catholic Christian ministry of hospitality and healing. Through a community of love and acceptance, all the women and men suffering from the effects of an abortion are invited and supporting. A caring and loving advocate is only a phone call away. With this session, it has been my intent to help you become aware of the needs, the resources, and the gaps between them for expecting and parenting moms and their families. The next step is for parishioners to step up and volunteer to work with a team of champions who will assess your community's resources, what's needed, where the gaps are, and how you might be able to fill them. Again, Walking with Moms in Need, a Year of Service, is an initiative that has resources to ultimately identify the material, financial, emotional, and spiritual resources available to you. As promised, let's look a little closer at the resources. Tools for documenting an inventory of local resources for pregnant mothers in need includes a summary of the parish action guide, the action guide itself, and an amazing inventory tool. Also an article on how to identify parish champions and suggested timelines. I'm hoping that we will launch our efforts in the new year. These are ideas for improving parish responses. There's a sample of a parish response. The Gabriel Project offers hope and assistance to any mother in need. Pregnant women are paired with trained volunteers called angels from a participating parish to support the woman through friendship, encouragement, and prayer throughout her pregnancy. In addition to the emotional and spiritual support, parish volunteers help the expectant mom with various practical needs and connect her with local resources. These practical needs might include the following: pregnancy information and assistance with prenatal care, maternity and baby clothes, cribs, strollers, baby items, referrals for housing, medical care and counseling, and parenting support or adoption information. We mentioned the Elizabeth Ministry earlier. It is an international movement designed to offer hope, help, and healing on the intimate issues of life, loss, and love. They work to encourage education and equip people through mentoring programs and resources related to relationships, sexuality, and childbearing. Prepares is a statewide initiative of the Catholic Bishops of Washington State. I've included this program because it is one example of what one diocese is doing. They provide pregnancy and parenting support and activities through Catholic parishes across Washington State, serving all families from pregnancy awareness to the child's 5th birthday. All are welcome to participate in this free support. Another initiative, Mommies to Be, is an innovative community-based pregnancy program for low-income women established by The Ohio State University. It's designed to improve the health status of at-risk communities, empower pregnant women to deliver full-term healthy babies, reduce the number of low birth weight infants, reduce infant mortality, and eliminate racial and economic disparities. Now, due to the COVID-19, Mommies to Be has started weekly Zoom sessions with moms and have been able to reach newly pregnant women in high-risk areas through virtual sessions. They continue to provide educational programs and support during this trying time. The care coaches help to ensure access for moms to receive the care they need to have healthy babies. Although they work primarily in Franklin County, they can provide referrals to other counties' resources. The initiative provides prayers for building a culture of life and a civilization of love. We use the Pregnant Mom's Prayer at the beginning, but there are also prayer cards that can be downloaded or ordered to help raise awareness of your parish efforts, and prayers are continually added to the website. The website contains reflections on the teachings of the gospel of life, the joy of the gospel, and praise be to you on the care of our common home. Thank you to all of those joining this session of the Building Culture of Life conference series. Thanks to all the staff of the Diocesan Family Life and Social Concerns offices and the Greater Columbus Right to Life office. They are all an amazing group and will continue to support your efforts to protect life and to accompany expecting and parenting moms and their families in need, materially, financially, emotionally, and spiritually. Thank you also to the amazing folks who took the time to enlighten us on the needs of expecting and parenting moms and their families. You've seen only a glimpse of the width and depth of their services. Please feel free to contact them to learn more and also to learn how you can support them. A special thanks to the IT office that made this session possible, as I am completely technologically inept. God bless him. Also to Alex Miras, who created this session from the pieces and parts I gave him. I'll end with a quote from the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops document, Living the Gospel of Life. The gospel of Jesus Christ is a gospel of life. It invites all persons to a new life lived abundantly in respect for human dignity. We believe that this gospel not only is a complement to American principles, but also the cure for the spiritual sickness now affecting our society. We cannot simultaneously commit ourselves to human rights and progress while eliminating or marginalizing the weakest among us. Nor can we practice the gospel of life only as a private piety. American Catholics must live it vigorously and publicly as a matter of national leadership and witness, or we will not live it at all. The U.S. bishops have gifted us with an amazing opportunity to be islands of mercy in the midst of a sea of indifference. We will only be limited by our imagination, our determination, and our creativity. And remember, with God, all things are possible. Thank you, and God bless.